All right, Cyber Traders, we are live this afternoon here, Tuesday, August 23rd, shortly after 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Welcome on back here for our afternoon meeting. Great to see Brian and Chuck. Chuck calling out the SIGA trade and Mara, both pushing up pretty nicely right now, he says. Great to see Henry, great to see Nina, and all of us perhaps rejoining us right now inside our live trading room. I'll tell you what, it's been a bit of a slow, choppy afternoon. That's expected given the fact that here we are like towards the end of the summer, pre-Labor Day weekend, after the initial move within the market at first and a couple of runners that ended up going with it. Things flatten out, look to reverse, pull back, not make as clean of a push. So now is the time where we need to rebuild a new list, scan the market, see what we have for us here heading into the afternoon. So, we'll go from top to bottom in just a moment here. The stock on the screen to begin, though, AMC, basically. APE, I think that's the AMC newly dividend shares or whatnot. Bob R saying APE going again. It looks like it wants to, but it really needs to make the break off of 720. So just a moment ago, it broke back above 720 here, but it's been chopping around this area throughout the duration of the entire afternoon. Really, the first test of it is actually when it ended up getting halted, and when it reopened off the halt, well, that's where this became a very significant level. That's where we ended up seeing like a 275,000 share print that was filled from time and sales. So that became resistance right from that point. So it's been having a very tough time trying to continue. So with saying that, yeah, I ended up getting chopped up 2 times on this trade. By chopped up, -2, -4, I moved on. And with saying that, hey, maybe right place, wrong time. This could make the big squeeze. Hopefully now, to be honest with you, I'm not in it, but it would be great to see it happen now either way, especially if some of us are in this trade currently. But if not, the more times it could hold direction and break over that 720, you should look to see a pretty significant move. So APE right now, I'll put this on our main watch list here, still looks pretty strong. You do have a 51,000 share, and well, you got some big icebergs now. So 720, we had said, was like a 270,000 share print level off the halt. In terms of size, that is bigger than the 48K here, 52K here, and even the 145K up top at 750. But that appears to be the reason why as to this stock not continuing across the late morning, early afternoon. So hopefully this is the real push that we were looking for initially. So we'll put this APE trade on our list. We have APE. Do we have AMC? No. Ooh, AMC is looking ugly right now. Looks a lot better as a short here. It seems like, perhaps if it breaks under 10, but just to say AMC is clearly not making the same type of move as APE. So APE on our list, AMC not on our list. All right, so let's go from top to bottom now. We did really well on the INDO earlier after the market opened up. Hey, it was pretty active throughout pre-market, so we had our eye on it early. Well, this one ended up exploding right out the gate. Ended up popping up from 9 all the way up towards 10. And then as you could see, not only just broke above 10, it never came back down to 10. This ended up holding a new support level later on, what appears to be roughly around 1037, 1035-ish. Just to say that became a real strong support. And thankfully, where normally you would have, the more times support gets poked at and tested at here, you'd expect a big drop. Well, this did what we didn't expect it to do. It showed more strength here. So perhaps there could be one last pop and run here on the INDO, Indonesia Energy Corp. We're very familiar with this trade, as I evidenced back in the beginning of this year. We ended up doing really well on this stock as a day trade, not as a swing trade per se, but what goes up comes back down. So if this fails to make the continued push, don't be surprised if this comes crashing back down before the market closes. All right, you can't see me, but quick little water break there. We'll go from top to bottom still and see what else we have. The AERI is a buyout. We're going to actually skip over that one for right now. RVPH had a nice little push this morning off of like kind of lower volume. Had a big pop off 150, but right back down it went. Not a whole lot to write home about on this one here at this point. Ooh, look at this. All right, well, a lot to write home about still on this trade. And, we had a really fun time on this stock from the market open shortly afterwards around 10 o'clock. Ended up breaking over 220 resistance and ended up running up then. Ended up, I believe, getting halted at that point and came back down pretty quickly after. Well, normally you don't tend to see a stock that drops off after one halt make a second win type of move, or at least one to where it would break a new high. So, it's making a bit of a squeeze back up right now. It's at right towards the VWAP here, the NEPT trade. I'll put this on our side list for right now. Come back to this at the end, see if it crashes right back down or if it, holds support here and then runs up. We got NRDY still trading a lot of volume per minute right now, about 70 plus thousand shares a minute. Ended up making a good squeeze after the market opened up and the higher high later on, but if it was showing better direction now, like really getting close towards that 375, 380 area, that high. All right. So at that point, I'd be more interested. So again, with the NEPT, I'll kind of come back to this at least at the end. Very tradable, very tradable. Good spread, good liquidity, right within our price range. So AP or APE. There we go. I was thinking AP for a second there. Weird. HUSA ended up making a nice little pop after the market opened up. And like the INDO, it's still showing some strength here. The HUSA trade, INDO. Let me just jump to these right now while we're at it. ENSV, not a whole lot happening there. 9, not really looking that great either. All right, that's fine. HUSA and INDO still look relatively strong here at this time, so I'll put those two on our list. The ENSV is right below the HUSA there. There you go. Marin, MARIN, ended up dropping off after the open. Bit of a dud. So this one bottomed out actually just over 2. Didn't even break under and over 2 for me to capitalize on there. So I didn't jump in from that point, but hasn't really done a whole lot since. So another big runner from this morning. This one popped early in pre-market. We wrote it off a little bit after, but then going into the morning meeting, ended up making this big pop prior to the market opening up. So, we had this quote unquote on our watch list, right? Quote unquote, I say, because it wasn't on the main morning watch list. But, as soon as the market opened up, we were already all over this here. All right, up towards 288 the high, and then the pull back down. We got cold KOLD. Big pop on this one. ETF ended up making a big push up. Natural gas ETF, might I say, ended up breaking out off the highs there, roughly off of 980, and then from there took off. But what's it done since? Not really a whole lot. So I'm going to pass on this cold ETF for right now. We have the ILAG trade. We have HYZN, which was moving from earlier today. This one's flat now at this point. Ooh, Ocugen, OCGN, familiar name at least during the pandemic, one of the vaccine or antibody testing companies. It's at the highs. Interestingly enough there, it's just got a lot of volume on the order book for it to try and break through. So, I like the direction, but it needs more volume, I feel like, the stock, the OCGN. All right, let's hop over to the losers list here, folks. Then I got to make sure I jump off soon enough. I got to write one of us back here. All right, so we have the WETG trade, G-Sun, a lot of these that are hard to borrow. I was going to say easy to borrow. A lot of these that are hard to borrow, and you can't really look to short them at this point. So we'll kind of skip ahead. ASRT here, very flat, albeit shortable. We're not going to follow this. Let's go to Zoom. Zoom ended up dropping off quite a bit. Took a little while, at least after the market opened up, to see continuation. But this one ended up dropping off quite a bit. Broke down right from 85 at the lows. Very liquid order book, might I say, as well. So Zoom, I'm going to put on our watch list here, right near the top, if anything. A little expensive, but lower the share count. It's a very liquid order book, so perfect as far as like a more expensive trade. There are stocks that are more expensive that have great liquidity. The first one that stands out to me right away would be AMD. I mean, this is like the type of order book you would see out of like Snapchat or Twitter, or, any of the other less expensive but more name brand companies. They're not often around, but a couple of them you'll be able to spot. All right, let's see if there's anything else looking pretty tempting, though. Otherwise, Zoom looks great as a short. SELB. Not a whole lot happening there. The XPEV, I skipped over this one. XPEV, Chinese EV-based company. We've been following this one for quite a bit, on and off. So this morning ended up dropping off early in pre-market, and then from there, as soon as the market opened up, big drop right from 2025, that is, crashed right under 20, and that was all she wrote. As far as a short across this afternoon, you do have big support at 1850, about an 81,000 share order on the bid sitting there. It's just pretty flat otherwise. So don't have a great need to put this on our watch list right now. You know, we got the Zoom, we got the Ape Trade, we got the INDO and HUSA. We got our hands full of those to begin with, I'd say there. All right, so folks, let me know if there's anything else up, down, left, right that you would want me to look at. And, well, NEPT did not drop off shortly after, so we're going to promote this and put this on our main watch list. NRDY, not so much. Not so much NRDY. This one's beginning to make a sharp pullback down below 350 here. All right, folks, I think that we're going to call it right now. I was running a little late the last few meetings, so, I'm going to balance things out here. There's not a whole lot to scan through, to be honest with you. The market's gone nowhere. We went through across the percent gainers and losers lists here. Watch, as soon as I finish up this meeting, we're going to see a bunch of things begin to pop and move. I doubt it. I'm more joking about that than anything. But, folks, last call, if there's anything else that looks incredible right now that I may have overlooked or maybe popping right now after we left off with it from Bob, he was talking about the RIGL trade. It's moving up. It's like the OCGN, right? This may have slightly less shares on the ask for it to cut through compared to OCGN even, but pretty similar. Good stock to trade. It's very tradable, but might be a little slow for us here at this point. The AVYA stock right now from one of us on YouTube, it popped up earlier today. I did actually just skip over this, I think. Ended up pushing up pretty nicely heading into the late morning, early afternoon, but right now seemed to be set, way more to be said on this than the others, right? This thing definitely isn't moving. Last one here, GRNQ, and then we'll wrap up. No, this one's not looking too good at all. That was another chat from YouTube there. All right, so folks, hey, for all of us on YouTube, Facebook Live, if you're interested in joining our live trading room, learning more about what stocks we're putting on our watch lists and prioritizing and what stocks we are not, make sure you go right down to the link on the yellow banner below right there on the stream to get yourself started. I got to jump onto a call at 3 o'clock. Before that, I'll untie my tongue. So aside from that, folks, if you have any questions or comments that you would like to send over my way, we did just finish up our Traders Talk workshop earlier this morning. Send it over right to my email address, josh@ctutrading.com. That goes for all of us on YouTube, Facebook Live. Of course, for all of us inside the live trading room, you could do the same, but I'm just a private chat away inside our live trading room here. So you folks know best. Any questions that you have, definitely send over, and I'm here to help you out. All right, folks, but aside from that, best of luck trading for those trading heading into the market close, and we will catch back up pretty soon. Take care.
Become a Cyber Group member today. Just click the link below and receive all these amazing products and a world of knowledge for just $9. Do it today.